You won't believe what's about to unfold behind the scenes at Old Trafford. A young talent from Europe's less heralded leagues could be just one signature away from changing Manchester United's fortunes, and the details of this move are causing a stir among scouts, directors, and fans worldwide. If you want to stay on top of everything, subscribe quickly to Manchester United rumors and news and hit the bell. This is where you follow every hot rumor even before it breaks in the media. In the corridors of European football, a name is beginning to echo loudly. It's not a consecrated star, nor a name that frequents newspaper headlines, but, according to sources linked to Portuguese directors and, especially, to Manchester United's scouting department, this young African could be the next big chess piece in the Red restructuring board. At just 19 years old, with a serene personality and a maturity on the field that catches the attention of even the most skeptical, he has been surprising with performances that blend technical elegance and surgical precision. The information exploded this week when Fabrizio Romano, the most respected journalist in the transfer market, revealed that SC Braga, from Portugal, is strongly interested in this promising Ivorian midfielder. What's more, there is already a concrete offer of €10.5 million on the table. But calm down, because Braga may not be alone in this race. Attention now turns to Manchester, where the new coaching staff and directors led by Sir Jim Ratcliffe are evaluating a surprise move for the same player. And this is where the story begins to heat up. The name of the moment is Mario Dorgiles, a midfielder trained by the renowned Right to Dream Academy in Ghana, and currently shining at Nordsjælland in Denmark. A talent shaped by African discipline and refined with European tactical intelligence. His performance in the Danish Championship not only caught the attention of Braga, but also Cruzeiro from Brazil, Monterrey from Mexico, and yes, the English giant from Old Trafford. The movement behind the scenes at Manchester United is intense, and the club is carefully evaluating every step. Sources close to Ruben Amorim's staff indicate that Manchester United's new coach is increasingly determined to break away from the traditional signing patterns that have marked the club in recent years. Instead of betting on media-hyped names and consecrated veterans, Amorim wants to build a team with players who have a hunger for growth, adaptable tactical ability, and a willingness to adapt to the intense demands of his playing system. The priority now is players with room for development, especially those who have not yet been fully revealed to the elite European football scene, but who already demonstrate raw talent, tactical intelligence, and, above all, a thirst for protagonism. The reconstruction project involves a reformulation that starts at the base of the squad, and Mario Dorgiles emerges as a name that personifies this new philosophy. Discreet out of the spotlight, Dorgiles does not get involved in controversies and maintains an unusual mature posture for his age. However, when he steps onto the pitch, the transformation is remarkable. The young Ivorian becomes the team's brain, distributing passes with surgical precision and commanding the pace of the game as if he were a veteran. His ability to interpret space and anticipate opponent movements has been praised by several analysts in Denmark, where he plays prominently for Nordsjælland. Amorim, who values total midfield control and play construction from the base, sees in Dorgiles an essential piece to execute his idea of modern football, based on intensity, qualified possession, and quick transitions. One of the aspects that most attracts the attention of United's analysis department is the balance between Dorgiles' natural talent and tactical discipline. He is not just a technical player, he is a tactical plan executor with an unusual understanding for his age group. Unlike many young players who stand out only for their ball skills, Dorgiles impresses with his game reading, his decision-making under pressure, and his ability to position himself correctly in different phases of the match. This type of intelligence on the field is exactly what Ruben Amorim is looking for to transform Manchester United into a team that not only competes but dictates the pace of games in the Premier League and European competitions. Furthermore, there is a clear intention to transform Old Trafford into an environment conducive to the growth of young talents. Amorim believes that the club, with its state-of-the-art infrastructure, can become a reference in the development of prospects who, until now, had no visibility in major markets. In this context, Dorgiles would be more than a simple signing. He would be a symbol of the new era emerging in Manchester. A player who arrives without the weight of a big name, but with the responsibility of proving that modern football is made with intelligence, energy, and vision. For Amorim, this is the type of profile that can ignite a new phase at the club, and Mario Dorgiles appears as one of the first steps in that direction. The fans can hardly wait for the news that could change United's midfield. And the mood behind the scenes is one of cautious optimism, but with accelerated movements. Unlike other young players who arrive for a slow adaptation process, Dorgiels is being seen as a piece that can be immediately inserted into the new Manchester United's machinery. According to sources with access to the club's sporting core, Ruben Amorim's idea is clear: to put the boy in pre-season to observe, closely, how he reacts to the rhythm, intensity, and physical and tactical demands of English football, and even more, to see how he adapts to the bold and vertical style that the coach intends to implement at Old Trafford. The board's action plan also reinforces the seriousness of this move. No timid approaches or hesitant proposals. Manchester United would be willing not only to match the €10.5 million that SC Braga put on the table, but also to slightly exceed that offer. And as a way to further entice Nordjylland, the English club is considering including additional clauses for future performance, the so-called valuation package, widely used in modern negotiations, in addition to a percentage of a future sale. The goal is to show that United is not just buying a player, but also respecting the Danish club's sporting and financial project. This type of proposal, according to market specialists, is especially attractive for developing clubs like Nordjylland, which build their business models based on valuing talents. With Mario Dorgiels on the rise, the Danish club sees him as a golden opportunity to boost its coffers, but also seeks to guarantee a share of possible future profits should the player explode in an elite league. And Manchester United, by demonstrating sensitivity to this logic, gains important points in this race. The Red Board believes that this could be the differential to overcome Braga's strong interest, which also has a good negotiation history with the Danish club. Ruben Amorim, in turn, has been pushing for the negotiation to be defined as soon as possible. He doesn't want to waste time. The sooner the player is on English soil, the faster the process of acclimatization to the group and the demanding tactical routine that the Portuguese is implementing will be. And there's more. Amorim believes that seeing Dorgiels on the field, in summer friendlies, could be the decisive factor to confirm his immediate usefulness in the 2025-26 season. The idea is that, if all goes well, the youngster will already be available for the first official matches, perhaps even as a surprise starter, something that would send fans into a frenzy and mark, with style, the new era of boldness that is beginning to emerge at Old Trafford. But don't think it will be easy, fan. SC Braga is not just interested. It is obsessed with securing Mario Dorgiels as one of the cornerstones of its project for the 2025-26 season. And when we talk about obsession, we are talking about a club that has already drawn up a complete plan for the development of the young Ivorian. The Portuguese club firmly believes that Dorgiels can become the great maestro of Braga's midfield, and for that, it has already put on the table a proposal that is not only financial but also strategic. In addition to the €10.5 million, Braga promises a progressive growth plan, with guaranteed minutes on the field, direct integration into the main squad, and, above all, a space where he would be a protagonist. This project seduces, a lot, the players' staff. Sources close to Dorgiels' entourage indicate that representatives see Braga as a more controlled environment, less exposed to media pressure, and ideal for the technical and tactical development of a young player still maturing. And there is another crucial point. The Portuguese club has a long-standing and well-structured institutional relationship with both Nordjylland and the Right to Dream Academy, responsible for Dorgiels' training. This positive history of business and the fluidity in dialogue between the parties can weigh heavily when the negotiation is concluded. In situations like this, the power of behind-the-scenes connections is worth as much as, or more than, the financial value presented. Still, the weight of Manchester United is simply colossal. When a club with the history, infrastructure, and global appeal of the Red Devils enters the field, everything changes. The name Manchester United is not just a shirt, it is a promise of international showcase, big games, global projection. The Premier League, considered by many to be the most challenging and prestigious league on the planet, exerts a natural magnetism on any young player who dreams of conquering the world with the ball at his feet. And the project led by Ruben Amorim adds an even more seductive layer. It is a modern model, with European ambition and a total focus on tactical performance and the development of young talents. Behind the scenes, some say that Dorgiels himself is divided. On one side, the real chance of being a starter and a reference in a competitive Liga Portugal team. On the other, the opportunity to grow in one of the most iconic clubs in football history, with access to elite resources and the possibility of playing on the biggest stages of the continent. The dilemma is legitimate, and it is keeping both agents and directors awake at night. Manchester United knows it is dealing with a tight race, where every detail can make a difference. And that is precisely why the pressure is increasing. Either the club acts with surgical speed, or it may see this diamond escape to Portuguese football even before the new season's whistle. And what if Manchester United doesn't close this deal in time? What if, by hesitating a few more days, the club loses the chance to sign a player who could be the heart of the midfield for seasons to come? This possibility, which seems small in the eyes of the most optimistic fan, is being taken very seriously within Old Trafford. The truth is that there is a growing tension in the air, a silent frustration that is beginning to haunt the new project led by Ruben Amorim. The Portuguese coach arrived with the full backing of Jim Ratcliffe, but he knows that the expectation surrounding his tactical revolution demands results and, above all, agile decisions in the market. And when a name like Mario Dorgiles emerges, with potential for immediate fit and a bright future, every minute of indecision can be costly. The fear is real. Losing Dorgiles now could mean more than losing a good reinforcement. It could be the first stumble of a new era that is still under construction. Ruben Amorim, despite being a newcomer, has already made it clear behind the scenes that he wants specific signings, focusing on names that fit perfectly into his methodology. No random bets or reinforcements due to external pressure. He wants adaptable, dynamic players, with game reading and the ability to dominate possession under pressure. And according to United's internal reports, Dorgiles meets each of these requirements with flying colors. It's no wonder the club scouting has been monitoring the youngster since the end of last year, with special attention to games where he faced bigger teams in the Danish Championship. These reports, according to information coming directly from the analysis department, are becoming increasingly emphatic. They point not only to technical qualities but also to constant evolution, tactical maturity, and an impressive posture for someone just 19 years old. The performance data is striking. Progressive passes, long ball accuracy percentage, ball recoveries in the opponent's half. All of this is being meticulously analyzed and passed on to the board led by Jim Ratcliffe. The idea is simple: to provide Ruben Amorim with players who enhance his game idea from the first training session, and Dorgiles has been mentioned in almost all strategic meetings as a priority name. Meanwhile, the players' agents continue to maintain contact with different clubs, and the tension increases. Cruzeiro in Brazil even made an informal inquiry, but the player's and his staff's priority is to stay in Europe. Monterrey also presented a solid project, but the technical factor and the Premier League showcase weigh more. Dorgiles, moreover, reportedly confided to close contacts that playing in England has always been a dream. And now that dream may be closer than ever. Behind the scenes at Manchester United, the movement has been silent, but strategic. The board knows that any sign of an offensive can inflate the player's value, especially with Portuguese clubs in the running. Therefore, the club has adopted a more reserved, but very active, stance. Ruben Amorim, moreover, has reportedly watched at least 3 full matches of Dorgiles, according to sources close to the technical staff. The verdict? The player would be perfect for the transition between defense and attack, something that is currently lacking in the Red Devil squad. If the negotiation progresses, the official announcement could happen during this transfer window. The clubs involved are in a hurry, and pre-season is approaching. If United manages to close the deal, Dorgiles could land in Manchester even before the end of the month, to undergo medical examinations and join the group traveling for international friendlies. Sources linked to the player's staff state that he is open to the challenge, and that he enthusiastically views the possibility of developing under Ruben Amorim's command. And attention! Some say within Old Trafford that Dorgiles will not be the only unknown young talent to appear on the radar. With Amorim's new philosophy, Manchester United plans to scout U20 talents around the world, especially in markets not explored by European giants. The idea is to replicate the successful model that clubs like Brighton and Salzburg have been applying, but with the structure and resources of a club the size of United. While fans await big-name reinforcements, the club may be preparing something even more explosive, a squad with fewer media-hyped names and more low-profile talents, capable of surprising at the highest level. This shift in mentality could be the beginning of a new era at Old Trafford. And Dorgiles, by all indications, could be the first symbol of this new project. Young, disciplined, technical, hungry to grow. Exactly the type of player Amorim wants to mold in his image. But there is still an unpredictable factor: time. Braga wants to close the deal in the coming weeks, and United needs to act fast. Amorim has already made it clear that he doesn't want to miss market opportunities. Will Jim Ratcliffe release the necessary funds to beat the Portuguese offer? Or will the club choose to wait and risk seeing the talent slip through its fingers? The decision could be crucial for the success of the 2025-26 season. Another important detail: Even with a relatively affordable value, United is cautiously analyzing the impact on the overall budget. This is because other negotiations, including with much more well-known names, are also underway. But some internally argue that betting on Dorgiles would be a high-return sporting and financial investment. After all, if the player continues his growth curve, he could be worth 4 or 5 times more in just 2 years. And for those who still doubt the boy's potential, just look at the numbers. Assists, ball recoveries, vertical passes, and accuracy rate place Dorgiles among the best in the Danish league. And all this at just 19 years old. With the right support, a top-notch training center, and a modern coaching staff, this player can become one of the most coveted names of the next decade. Is that the plan? It's still unknown. But the signs are strong. Well, Manchester United fan, what did you think of this? Do you think Mario Dorgiles is a good reinforcement to wear our red shirt? Comment your opinion. I would love to know what you think. Oh, and stay tuned to the Manchester United Rumors and News channel, because I'm always posting the latest Manchester United news. Subscribe now so you don't miss any updates. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next video.